opportunity to see the cursed FFT stream, or cursed, as it might be.
But
Like, the one time you drive, right?
yeah, well, you know,
DP was hung up by a car accident today, so we're starting about a half hour later than we intended to. Oops.
it was a bummer. Obviously, especially for the people who were in the accident.
Were they gonna watch the stream?
Uh, Probably not.
So yeah, I'm really not that interested in them. It's priorities, man. Anyway, yeah, so let's get started. Since we're getting a little bit of a late start today, let's kick it. I realized that after I let you go last time, DP, it was about 5 minutes too early, because there's an animated cutscene right after we left off. As soon as you leave Egros, at that point, after clearing the Thieves' Fort, there's a cutscene. But because I am super smart, I remembered, eventually, that you can go back and replay cutscenes. So...
Thank goodness you're so smart, Josh.
Oh, I know, right? So I remember that, and went ahead and ground out a couple more battles and changed up the party some even further, which I'll show you here in a second. But first, we'll show you and our potential viewers what you missed. Scree!
Or maybe we won't. I don't know.
Oh,
hey,
yeah, I
we'll
guess I
see.
should probably actually share the screen with you before we do this, shouldn't I?
Did
Derp.
you start it without sharing the screen?
Always. Well, I'm sharing it with the viewers, just not with you.
Oh. Do you think Tietra might be watching this same sunset?
Now, are you getting the sound, or did I screw that up too?
Yeah, you screwed that up.
Oh, bugger. So bad at life.
For some time now. Argat's words trouble you. Am I not right? There are things beyond the power of our changing realms.
I really blame you for this. I really blame people who can't drive for this.
Yeah, honestly, I can't even... I really can't even defend myself. I feel like it's also my fault.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you didn't cause the car accident, so it's okay. But you can see in here now, right?
That is definitely true.
Should we rewatch it?
Meager lot in this life.
Really, the part that people actually remember is still coming up, so...
Do you remember, Ramza? When your father showed us how to make a whistle of a blade of grass?
For a commoner, he's got a very posh accent. Now that's actually a pretty funny cutscene when they render it in engine, because it's the normal little sprites, like acting like they're picking up grass, and then it makes a little sound. It's actually pretty funny, but it's a poignant sort of scene, really, because it talks a lot about where Delita and Ramza are coming from, but it also really foreshadows where they're going, which is nowhere good for the two of them.
Mm.
Alright, so that being said, all I've done other than that is move around a little bit and fight a couple battles. And you can see now I've got Ramza rigged up here as a monk. Are you still with me?
Sweet.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
are. I have used Casper a little bit more because I haven't been fighting guest battles, I've been fighting random battles. We've got Evelyn here. She was a knight, and she got moved into monk as well.
The female monk image there is pretty rockin'.
Yeah, it's a tough lady.
Mm-hmm.
The other female, she was a squire. She now got moved into knight.
Ah,
And then we've got Eustacia here still is the white mage. I also gave Delita a proper bow, which I don't think he really needs at this point, but it does increase his attack a little bit, and it does give him the ability to shoot over obstacles, so it's better than the bow gun in that way.
Right, big improvement.
Yeah, just if it turns out that we need it, then it will be very helpful. Otherwise, whatever. We added some extra gil, so doesn't matter. I believe the other interesting thing here, yeah, I've got Ramza. He's also got Auto Potion now. He finally accrued enough Chemist points to pick that up. And I gave him Equip Heavy Armor as well, which he had enough Knight points to pick up. And that makes him, one heck of a monk tank.
Sweet. Love to see it.
All right. And if you'll remember from last week, the last thing we did was beat up on Miliuta. The first thing we're going to do this week is beat up on Miliuta.
I just love continuity in the stream. It just helps. It helps keep the viewer engaged.
And now this is the first storyline battle that we're fighting since we got rid of Argath. So we are back to being able to put in 5 player characters in because we no longer have 2 guests. We only have 1.
And hooray for that.
It is helpful. It is not helpful.
Because Argath is not very good.
No, he's not. But we don't see him too much more.
It's already limiting to have 2 AI-controlled characters in your party to begin with. But
well,
when one of them is bad,
yeah. It is in Chapter 1. In later chapters that you haven't seen yet, there are a couple battles where you have multiple guest characters, and it's like, whoa, okay, I don't have to do anything here. It really does depend on the quality of the guest. I also just noticed out of the corner of my eye that this week Discord is correctly showing our streaming status, or my streaming status per se, which is neat.
Whoa, wait, what?
That wasn't working when I set this up last week. I guess it takes some time to kick in, but I have my Discord account connected to the con stream. So now for people who are sitting in our Discord, it's got a link to our stream right in there under my user status.
Cool.
Very cool. They thought of everything.
Yeah, maybe I should get Discord.
It's about time. Especially with Clem being dead for at least another couple days.
Aw.
The new Clem box came yesterday. I have a new Clem sitting under my desk right now, but he's not quite ready to go yet.
Clem is dead. Long live the Clem.
That's exactly correct, in fact. I could talk more about the Clem, but it wouldn't really be interesting to anybody. But I'm very happy with him. He's a little tiny guy now. It's adorable.
Aw.
He's
no less powerful.
No, more powerful, in fact. By a fair amount, I would say.
More capable of blowing up your house if you post nonsense.
Absolutely. I'm glad somebody else remembers that. So yeah, we start off at a little bit of a disadvantage here. I believe the objective, I wasn't quite paying attention, but I believe...
the low ground.
Yeah, exactly, we do. I believe that I believe the objective here is still only to defeat Miliuta. I don't think we have to take out everybody, but yeah, this is a good battle if you can get the upper hand to collect a lot of abilities from crystals, so we'll try to do that first. If you were listening to me yammer instead of watching, the enemy conversation before the battle took place pretty much circled around the fact that only Miliuta still wants to be having this fight. The others are ready to lay down arms, but Miliuta is so upset that she is just ready to continue with war, even though she knows she's going to lose. Also, from time to time, we have a special guest today. Because my child is out of school today.
Nice.
And she just wandered in to look at what we were doing and then wandered back out, giggling.
Uninterested.
Uninterested. I think she was kind of hoping we were playing Minecraft.
Aw. And it does have that certain box-like charm.
You're not wrong. There's probably somewhere out there somebody has probably made a bunch of these battle maps in Minecraft just to do it.
That seems... It seems like that would have been us. I think we're the audience for that.
We probably should have done that back in the day when we
had
actually
the
played
server, we had the power, we had the Final Fantasy Tactics nerd population.
Now this is an interesting battle because I'm pretty sure it's the first time that you actually can run into a time mage in any kind of normal playthrough. Oh. Hey, Commander Root, thank you. That's the first time I've seen that go off, and it scared the heck out of me briefly.
What happened?
We got a new stream follower right there, and on the stream it actually plays Mambo to Chocobo over the stream and shows an animated Chocobo, which is the first time I've actually seen that kick in, so that was...
strictly necessary. All of that is strictly necessary.
I love all these stupid little gadgets. It's beautiful. Oh, no.
Okay, so some classic rush there.
Yeah, except for the fact that is 100% not what I wanted.
Oh. Womp womp.
Let's see. I'm highly unfocused today. It has been a very unfocused sort of day. Let's see. Delita is a dummy and kind of wandered just off into a place where he's going to get utterly destroyed. So let's see if we can...
His black mages are going to deck him.
Ah, that won't reach. Yeah, both black mages are charging on him, and he's also been hit with something else already. Or no, he hasn't. Huh, that attack must have missed.
No.
Perfect. Well, okay. We'll wait, and we'll heal you after you get crunboxed then, because I believe that these black mages also have ability to second-tier spells, so it's going to be even worse.
Oh. Yeah, and this one's tough because that time mage casts haste right away, so Milyuta has it with the white magic, and then the black mages get it,
and then I also moved everybody like an idiot, so only Ramza got that protect spell, which was not at all what I wanted to do. Yeah, I told you I'm distracted today. This is there we go. I saw that minus 23 when he began charging that spell, and I thought he'd already cast it. There we go. That makes more sense. That's okay. That was still only about 50 HP all told,
that's
and
just a little over half, and that's pretty manageable for back-to-back black mage hits.
Yes, and both of our spellcasters, or both of our item users, have access to high potion now, so that's good for 70 healing. So, not a big deal at all. Now, let's do some more protecting. As soon as I can find my cursor.
I like this thing where magically between our streams the characters get better. Like, man, can I arrange so that that's done for every game I play? That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, you can do it for any game that you play with me.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's probably also not true. I can't back that up.
Well, we'll just have to come up with another one to stream after this.
Okay, so interestingly, that Time Mage did not cast that on Milyuta. She cast it on one of the random mages, which, you know, Milyuta gets a custom portrait, but she does not get a custom sprite the way that her brother does. So that's mildly confusing. Can I help you, child? There's no video in this stream, so nobody can see you. Don't worry. Why are you smelling candles? They smell good. Okay, that's a fair.
Come on.
That one does. It smells like what? Candy. Okay. Well, that's a good candle. Yes, it does smell like candy. Thank you very much. You are contributing a great deal to this. You know that? Yeah. Okay, off you go now. Yes, you have a drink. Good lord.
Adored.
Yeah. Dare
wow,
fist.
Nice. Was that the first hit?
No, the other monk had hit him first.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Yeah, the other monk's right there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, holy
but
crap.
Ramza also focused on his first turn.
5.
Delita ran up and did rush rather than using his actual
Delita,
weapon.
What the hell, man?
I know, right?
Come
it's
on.
ghastly. Clements, do run your sword through that mage.
That's a lot of move right there.
Yeah. And...
yeah, that's pretty clutch, because that'll kill her.
Yeah.
And there we go. No more haste.
Thump. Hey, thanks for not using auto potion, Ramza. That's exactly what we were aiming for there. Such is the pain of life. Boy, they're just not fans at all of using Auto Potion today.
No. Sweet.
And this starts the string of a few reasonably difficult battles. And this is a battle where it's easy for things to get out of hand if you get some bad breaks, because there's a lot of spellcasters, and Miliuta is extremely powerful also.
Right. I mean, I feel like it should perhaps be signaled, once again, that our party right now is indeed stronger than what would be the standard if one were just sort of playing through.
You know, that's interesting. I wonder how much that is actually the case. It's been so long since I've played this for a first time that I don't really remember anymore where I was like as a newbie going through this game. I suspect that I was probably ground a little bit higher than this, but probably without quite so many optimizations in terms of job classes and abilities, because I didn't know as much of what I was doing.
I think our characters are better in this playthrough than the first time we did this.
That is almost certainly true. I would all but guarantee that.
In that one, we weren't really doing much grinding.
Yeah. If I weren't so lazy, I probably would go back to the old videos, which I still have access to, and I would confirm that. But you're probably right, because I was very much not enjoying doing the grinding the first time around on this, because I was having to do it with the touchpad or the touch screen, and that part sucks.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of battle that a lot depends on what happens with the Time Mage early on. Like if the Time Mage had cast these on Miliuta first instead of that Black Mage, which is at first we thought the Time Mage had cast it on Miliuta.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're getting cures that much more frequently,
Yeah.
And if maybe the Time Mage gets off another haste before you manage to kill her, then the battle can quickly get longer. But as I recall, this sequence here of 3 battles, each one gets harder.
Well, each one gets harder in its own way. The next battle in line is actually the hardest of the 3, in my opinion, but only in terms of raw firepower that you're up against, because the next battle has one character who is very overpowered relative, and the battle after that only has issues of being kind of tightly packed and having a few magic users involved. Oh, she had counter. I forgot that. The other thing that I can never remember about these battles, and I always forget to look, is obviously the example of the objective being to defeat Miliuta. Sometimes that means get her critical, like it did in the last battle, and sometimes it means actually knock her out. And I believe in this one we have to knock her all the way out.
Okay.
Skank. I'm going to move him back to try to hide what is about to happen to that Black Mage in an effort to make sure that none of their party can heal if he crystallizes. The other party's pretty good at going up against the soft targets here, I have to say. She's got a cool portrait. I don't know why they stuck her with the generic knight sprite.
Yeah.
Also, that I probably should have checked the turn list before I did that.
Yeah. Womp womp.
I would say that I would pay more attention if I weren't also actively streaming, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. I wouldn't have checked.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
no,
have
we know
checked the
that's
turn
not
list
true.
regardless.
It would be nice. I mean, this is where having the turn list displayed on the screen, you know, Final Fantasy X style would be nice.
That would be nice.
And I think there's definitely the screen space to afford it too. So.
Yeah, you know, if they, well, you know, the original version of this was in a 4:3 aspect ratio, of course, because it was released for, you know, before HD TVs were really a thing. This one is, I think it's 16:9. It looks 16:9 because the PSP screen was 16:9. Hello again. Are you going to sit here? Why? Because you want to? You don't have to whisper. It's okay. It's not a work meeting. Kinda.
It's a fun meeting.
I'm talking about this video game. It's called Final Fantasy Tactics. No, don't be moving the mouse around. The mouse doesn't do anything.
The sequence of battles with Milyura is kind of interesting in a narrative sense because Remza keeps asking her these questions like, well, why are you doing this? Or what do you mean you guys only are rich off of the blood of the poor or whatever? And so it ends up being, weirdly enough, I mean, in a game that has its pacing for informing the player of the narrative world, all wacky. This is sort of a moment of education for the player, and then also sort of the education of Remza.
Yeah, a lot of the storyline battles don't have that much exposition in them, but these early ones really do. A great number of them, anyway.
I mean, it's useful, frankly, because there's only so much this early in the game that you can deliver in the form of cutscenes.
Yeah.
Because there's a real fatigue issue there. I mean, once you're 2 minutes into Lord Dysadarg and Eargross talking to Lord Zalbag about, you know, Duke Marquis, I don't know. I've already forgotten all the names, as you can tell. But
it is.
There's a pretty quick, like, you can really only keep maybe like 4 names in a given cutscene, and then your kind of eyes glaze over. At least mine do.
It is 100% dense. There is no way to say it other than that. Ah, rats.
Really, Josh?
Well, she got Fira from the last crystal, so you know it's not so bad that we kind of crapped out on that one.
Chest? No.
No.
I suppose there's 2 of them left still.
Oh, that was useful. About time.
Nice work, Gelida. You did a good.
Oh,
Ooh.
stupid knights!
Why did you not go around to the other side there? Oh, because for this person?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I want to go ahead and bring her back to life now that the battle's a little bit more contained.
Sweet.
There's really not much going on that worries me at this point.
No, yeah, this is a battle that is already won.
Yeah, it's just a matter of whether we win it the right way. Oh, picking up that crystal was useful to at least restore her MP, though. Nice, now I don't have to burn an item on getting her healed up.
Alright.
Very good times.
We'll grant it.
Oh, Milyuda, you're just kind of grinding around in a circle here. The child wanted to ask if I was playing games with Tittles today, by the way.
Aw.
If she catches me on the headset, she's used to me talking to Tittles, not you.
That's
Sorry.
fair. No, that's fair. How's Tills doing? Have you talked to him any lately?
He plays a boatload of Fortnite. That is where Tittles is these days.
That could have been predicted, I suppose.
Yeah, he has a Fortnite group at his office, and that takes up a lot of his time.
Okay. Hey, he hasn't
There
been
we go.
in chat really for a while.
That's
Oh,
better.
nice.
You will see him from time to time in Discord.
Gotcha. Well, maybe that is another reason for me to get the Discord thing going.
They're all.
I mean, all of you guys can chat now. It's just all Zombor now. So.
Yeah, usually I'm also in there in a token way, but the last couple days I've been lazy about that. Oh, that won't reach. Okay. She's just gonna hang out here by the corpse, so
Wow.
we can't get a good shot at her. Little does she know that that's just going to make me want to focus every turn until I can one-shot her.
Are you not going to pick up the chest?
Oh, I don't have anybody that can get there yet. I'm slowly moving pieces that direction.
Okay. Yeah, I just like chest.
Good to know.
Okay, all right.
So it's that kind of stream, eh?
Oh, no.
Bing!
Good thing you have your headphones on.
Oh, she's heard worse. There we go. Run her to safety and pick up the chest that you so badly wanted, and it's nothing useful.
Hempen robe. Everyone's hottest style accessory of the season.
Yeah, man, and it's like hemp too, so that's kind of awesome.
Nice. Ooh,
just let that one sit.
Knocked out. I just got a new coat the other day myself.
Is it hempen?
Nope.
Lame.
Wow. Why must it end like this? Okay, so now we're all beginning to feel a little guilty.
Yeah. I mean, it's great that they have equal opportunity on the battlefield in this universe, but, I mean, we did just slaughter a bunch of ladies.
I don't think that was the thing that they were just lamenting.
No, it was more the class warfare part of it than the gender warfare. That's true. They're really going to regret it here in about 30 seconds. Let's see, I didn't use enough items. I think I can gut my way through these last two battles. Famous last words.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
It's brutal when you have to get to this last battle and then trek back through these two random spots to resupply, so...
Yeah.
And we're...
Why have you kidnapped this girl?
That was a very Mystery Science Theater kind of reading of that.
When WeGraph just has like one rule. He's got one rule, and it's that we don't kidnap
Stop
people.
kidnapping people! I mean...
So far, that's what all of his goons have been doing.
Yeah, he's a pretty noble dude at this part, as these people go.
Mm-hmm.
I have always loved this cutscene because I like the detail of the windmill, that they actually took the time to animate this map in engine. It's just really neat.
It's one of those things, and again, this is I said a little bit along these lines last week. I will probably say it again every single week, frankly. But this is one of the things that I really love about this generation of video games in the late '90s and just very early, 2000, maybe 2001, where you have on the one hand all of this possibility, right, in 3 dimensions, for graphics, and yet at the same time, you have all this limitation, right? Not only in what you can actually visualize, but also in the space on a disc.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have, all of these creative sort of strategies for dealing with that, whether it be, two-dimensional backgrounds with three-dimensional characters, or three-dimensional backgrounds with two-dimensional characters, like you have here. But then you have things like this, where like somebody decided, yeah, we're gonna splurge, and we're gonna animate, we're gonna animate the windmill. That's kind of cool.
NP is complaining that we're too quiet again.
Oh no.
I'm getting feedback.
Sorry.
Okay.
Together we have the strength to strike. Other famous last words, honestly.
Well, I mean... Because what you see here is what we're about to fight.
Womp, womp.
Not Tietra. Tietra's okay.
We shall make for our fastness.
Grogoroth. Fantastic name. You need to be more specific, NP. He wants to know whether a guy is a guy or a girl. I mean, none of them have noses, so you can't tell that way. Yeah, you see what I did there? I thought that was pretty clever.
It's always good to, whenever you can get a good nose joke in, it's always good.
No, I think it's pretty much never good, but okay.
In the context of there being no noses in tactics, I mean. Beyond that, all bets are off.
Oh boy. This is one that is never fun to, oh, that's a girl, NP. He was speaking of the monk. The monkette. And before you got here, NP, we were saying that the monkette is a fairly hardcore-looking woman, so I can understand the mild confusion on that.
Windmill!
It's such a cool way of loading up the battle.
It is. I mean, it's mostly showing off, frankly, but...
yeah.
Right, then they turn it all the way around. Now the windmill's in the back.
It was like this weird, like, low angle looking upward that you would never actually see in the rest of the game. Yep. Yeah, it's, yeah.
Oh, no. Now we're getting the family dimension of our enemies too.
And
it's just getting,
it's a big,
getting more and more morally conflicting.
It's a big family. You'll meet more of them later, in fact.
Oh, nice.
Oh boy, this is just a tricky one. The windmill makes the battlefield extremely limited on where you can go. You can send a party around the back of it to try to flank the other party, or at least get away from them for a turn or two, but it's a one square path, so you get it jammed up pretty quickly. And then if you stay here on the wider path, you end up taking the full brunt of what's coming at you, and that includes Wygrath, who has some special skills that you haven't really seen much of yet, and it includes Boko. Because Boko is going to come, and he has Chocobo ability, so he's got good move radius, and he's got Choco Cure.
Ah, right.
And no, NP, you do not have to kill the Chocobo. And even if you do kill the Chocobo in this battle, it gets retconned, I think. Even if you were to let him crystallize, I believe that gets retconned later. Which is a funny little, hiccup in the hole in the story, I guess. You know, heck with it.
Who
Let's
do you
get
cast that on.
Ramza.
Why? Why do you cast it on Delta's square?
Because Protect does not have a good height radius, and I believe that he will move before I get it off. I'd rather have it on somebody that I can actually lose.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about the monk there. Your sister, then you are a babe.
Move! And yeah, and then now for the first time, Ramza just straight up says, nah. Not, no, we are like brothers. No, no messing with him is the same as messing with me. It's the same as messing with Lord Dysadar. He's like, nah. Commoner.
Yeah.
It's all good.
A big moment.
And it didn't matter anyway, because Ygraph is like, psh, whatever. Friends of
Don't
yours
care.
are people I'm going to stick with a sword.
Yep. Class cares.
Wow! Rude!
Wow, that was an interesting choice.
That was just rude! What's that
Gonna
bird
go
ever
up the
done to you?
stairs and then attack in a different direction. Oh.
Rutro.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, Ygraph has
45.
Agrias' skill set. If you remember from the very prologue battle.
Ah, right.
He is not just your normal knight, which is why he's got that funky sprite with the ascot flapping back and forth. Which I really thought was a goatee for the longest time, and then I realized that it didn't show up on his portrait.
It does.
If
it
it,
does
I'm
kinda
like,
look like a goatee.
I know. It's like Dysadar Light. Okay, so now we have everybody and their brother stacked up here, and now we're going to not be able to attack anybody
Wow.
ever.
That move radius, though.
Yeah. And he's
Oh,
got counter.
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And this is when I remember that I
41.
really probably should have brought the chemist and the white mage versus just the white mage. Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot all about that entirely. Yeah, you cannot flank the enemy on this. Those are non-movable squares. Look at that. So, now that you've seen Ygraph's abilities, you also realize that we cannot pack our party too closely together, because in so doing, Judgment Blade, at the very least, has a radius. NP is not a fan of the fact that Delita went after the Chocobo first.
I mean, that's the right answer, honestly. Also, that text took a heck of a long time to cast.
I think it's just the luck of the draw more than anything on that. I have a feeling that I am going to want a faster Ramza in the near future.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Let's
we weren't able to get very far there.
let's also heal our guest up so he can absorb some more damage. Oh, but yeah, we didn't bring the flippin' chemist, so I can't throw the item. So now we're gonna have to risk healing that Chocobo.
Uh-oh.
And she's gonna be dead after this turn. Ygraph will take her out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Also problematic. And I didn't save after that last
conveniently,
battle,
that
so
monk
that's
didn't
kind of
do
hilarious.
anything, though.
Well, that monk really can't do anything. Low-level monks don't have ranged attacks.
Well, I mean, it could have moved. They might have been able to move around and attack Ramza, though.
Ah, there we go. Thank you, Delita.
Wow, nice.
So
work,
maybe she
Delita.
won't corpse in this round. We'll see.
That would be
I'm-
nice, but you could end up getting decked right now.
No, that's as long as that doesn't. There we go.
Okay,
I
nice.
believe that one has an ability for one-hit
Potion
KO.
potential.
So that is super cool that it did not hit. Yeah, it doesn't hit very often, but
Sure.
you certainly don't want it to.
Right. I mean, the thing is, in this game, I mean, I feel like a one-hit KO.
There you go.
Is
There's a monk with a
pretty
ranged
risky
attack.
endeavor, so
Well, it's an added effect on that ability, so it hits for
Right.
damage regardless, and then it has the ability to further add OHKO. Right, she doesn't have anything useful. You come back here and hide, lady. Let the real soldiers do some work. That counter is just going to be the
heck of
death
a
of us.
counterattack, yeah, man.
But he's focused once, and he's going to get a back attack on it. So at least that'll hit him pretty solid.
Nice.
But now it's time to triage. Oh, everybody turn.
You fight well.
Ah, yes. Wonderful. I forgot about that. I didn't even get him critical. I just got him knocked down far enough that he is going to bail.
Oh, wow, really?
Yep. Whoosh. Oh, exposition time. Snap.
Ooh. I mean,
So we already knew that because we'd seen the cutscene with Duke Larg, but Ramza didn't.
what we don't know is whether or not, I mean, Wygraf assumes that Zalbag and Dysadarg are in agreement, and we don't
really know that yet, no.
And in fact, those two brothers, if anything, seem to be thinking independently, to at least some degree.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just what it appears as.
No, I think you've got it just right. One of them is the politician, and the other one is the warrior. So they're obviously going to look at things from a slightly different way. There you go, NP. The Chocobo is safe.
Yay!
More cutscene.
Love me a good cutscene.
Nobody obeys Wygraf's orders. It's just... I always kind of wish that there was a battle inside here. I think this would be a really cool battle map. Especially for like a one-on-one type battle.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can get all the way up to that sort of small second level thing. If there was some way you could get down from it that involved the moving parts.
Yeah.
That would be super badass. But...
And here we've got a scene where we've got emotion through falling.
Faboham wind flots.
Let's save the game this time, eh?
That is wise.
It is wise. Let's also see what we can learn before we go into this battle.
Also wise.
We got some monk. Shockwave is my favorite monk ability, but we have nowhere near enough JP for that.
Yeah, it's quite a wait.
Yeah. Chakra is a good one, though, because it gives Ramza the ability to be a healer as well, within limited range.
Right.
Can he do anything good? Not super useful for this point in time, so we'll just save that. Nothing white magey either. That we need, anyway. Not enough to learn move +1, since he's the only character that doesn't have it already. 375, so she can be a healer now as well. I already gave her Rend weapon last time around.
Which is the most useful, probably, of the Rends.
Yeah, at this point anyway. But it also has one of the lower hit rates, because it's, you know, they base the hit rate on how vital it is that you be able to use it.
Fair.
I'm not sure the game sound is coming through today.
Is pretty good.
Well, that's Rending Magic Power, which is good. I think I'm going to go with Rend MP, because I would like for some of these mages that we're about to encounter to not be able to cast spells on us. at all,
Fair enough.
let alone with strength. I don't think she's going to have anything useful either. Well, I'll go ahead and give her a raise. Not as useful as a Phoenix Down, but much, much cheaper. And you'll notice I always do things backwards. I'm too dumb to make my changes before I save, so then I end up saving twice like an idiot.
But
Split squad battle. Now this is one that I remember, that Ram's starting position is not dictated by what you do here. So I've moved him all the way to the back of the battlefield, knowing that, yeah, it's not going to make any difference where I put him. And I don't know if you remember this one from 2 years ago, but,
oh, I do.
shut up, NP. He's making snarable comments in chat. How dare he?
I'm so surprised.
Snow!
What an unusual happenstance.
Now,
Back
Gregory,
once you came... Sorry.
Gregory still thinks that she's a boo.
Nice work. Uh-huh. Oh, I forgot that these guys were also going on the run.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I remember this.
Yeah, I thought you might. I was about to ask.
Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Golgarath
Right, I mean-
is so dapper.
Well, he's just like, well, shit, you're not supposed to kill the...
No,
the
you
hostage.
always shoot the hostage. Haven't these people ever seen Speed?
You're not supposed to shoot the hostage. That's the entire point. Cold-hearted.
I'm really disappointed that the game sound is not coming through. I'm going to try to fix that real quick, because this has got a...
Yeah, it was just fine.
Well,
and
it's not
the
coming through.
sound-
It's not coming through on the stream, according to my metrics here.
Oh, I can hear the wind now.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. I like the wind effect here.
It's very good. The use of silence is underrated.
One thing that I've never actually done here, but I've seen done, and is very entertaining, is people who grind or hack their save game far enough to have Lancers at this point, because Lancers can learn Ignore Height, which means that they can just jump to the top of these towers during this battle,
Nice.
which is just hilarious. It just makes me so happy.
That's a great thing. That's a beautiful thing right there. Tietra.
I meant for it to be fairly low NP, because, I mean, as good as the music and the sound is in this game, I didn't want it to be a cacophony when we start talking as well, but I'll turn it up a little bit more.
You whoreson dog.
It is to be a fight, then.
I wear baggy overalls.
I don't think that's what running on snow sounds like.
That's
Okay.
what it sounds like.
So, the objective in this one is to defeat Argath, obviously. The AI on this is interestingly set up, where Delita and Argath are keyed to fight specifically each other until one of them is dead. It's usually Delita.
Oh.
which is another reason why having Delita as a archer throughout this chapter is useful, because it does keep him alive an extra turn or two, because he doesn't go wading in to try to cut Argath down. He picks at him from a distance.
It's weird that Argath would win.
Well,
Argath sucks.
because the other members of his party will go at the nearest threat, which usually ends up being Delita.
Right, because Delita usually moves in.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Still nothing useful there, right? Now, again, because of the existence of these black mages, we do need to keep our party spread out just a little bit. And one spell can still hit 2 of these party members pretty easily, but not packing them all in together at least will reduce the damage spread a little bit.
Right, yeah, that was a bit of important dialogue there too, so far as Argath, draws Ramses' attention to the rather important fact that he's fighting against his family militant.
Yeah, he's just gone full traitor.
Right. And Ramses still appears to be operating under the delusion that Argath is the problem here, and doesn't believe Argath.
Yeah, he's definitely looking right past the fact that Zalbag had nothing to say when somebody who was essentially his adopted sister just got shot in the chest with an arrow.
Well, I mean, Zalbag said that, to go ahead and fire the shot.
Well, yeah, but, it did leave just enough ambiguity in what he said between whether he meant fire the shot or specifically take out Tietra.
I see.
Oh, I forgot about that.
No.
Least fun part of this battle. There we go. Oh, lordy.
Yeah, that was...
Thank you, Auto Potion. At least get some of that back.
The earth was not of my choosing. Good work.
Man, the writing in this translation is so much better.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we've now stepped into a different sort of argument here that are interesting.
Yeah.
Rams is trying to say, no, like I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to choose what's right. And Argath makes the, maybe least wrong of all his claims.
The least wrong.
Which is, I mean, maybe even a right, that's not how it works. In fact, like yes, you don't get to choose whether you're born into privilege or poverty, and if you're born into privilege, that means that you can't just hide from that fact.
Yeah, Ramza is obviously missing the flip side of the coin. He did not choose to be born into privilege, but the people that he's fighting against, oh, come on, also did not choose to be born into, the lower noble class, where they are essentially just wealthy servants, or the lower class entirely, where they are servants.
Right.
And, it's definitely an interesting look at, his inability to perceive things outside of his own sphere, which, is common to everybody.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you get a very strong sense in this sequence of battles that he's beginning to put some things together, but man, he's doing it real slow.
Yeah.
It takes him a while.
Well, I mean, that's the only way that this game doesn't stop after one chapter, so.
Fair.
Now, that dialogue that Argath just threw out, I believe that changes based upon that choice in that very first storyline battle outside of Garland, where you either rescue him or kill off the intruders. Where Ramza is accused of just simply having use for Delita. I've probably horked up this battle already by not sending the chemist in. It's gonna be quite a reach to get the white mage far enough through to protect everybody else. Happily, Argath will at the very least, you know, pick away at Delita until he's gone, which will save us a little bit of heartache. So this may become the time where I simply forego trying to collect a bunch of stuff and just drill Argath here real quick. In fact, let's do exactly that. Because you got to hit him pretty solid since he has that auto potion available.
Right, which did not take effect there, however.
No, it doesn't happen every turn, but you know, Delita's attack there just put us in a situation where all of a sudden, oh wait, you just hit him for negative 10 HP. Well, flippin' done.
Yeah.
And before you ask, no, you cannot cast Raise on Tietra. Nor can you Phoenix down her.
No.
That was one of the first things that hit the message boards after this game came out, is the rumors of being able to resurrect Tietra or otherwise save her from being shot by an arrow.
That's funny. I did not realize that. At first I thought you were just making an Eris joke.
No, but she is certainly in that mold.
Right.
There we go.
Right.
That'll help.
It is weird to me that hitting someone with a sword only does 30 damage and punching them does
Well,
70, but, you know,
Ramza is all brute strength.
good jack.
That
No
this
stop, Robin.
this might actually be the first time I've won this battle without having to resurrect Delita at least once. Because normally I do try to pick away at like getting abilities and stuff off these guys, but nah, screw it.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta forge ahead.
Not bad though. We just roared through those last 3 battles of Chapter 1 in under an hour, according to the stream.
Yeah. Not bad.
Cutscene.
Oh no.
I love how huge the
I was
environment
just
looks
gonna
in this
say
cutscene.
that.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I'm sorry, Delita.
Now this is another one that was done in engine in the initial version,
The powder.
Right.
which was also cool, but not quite as impactful as this.
Right.
Delita. Delita.
So now we've just snapped back to where we were in that prologue battle. So you can see why Ramza was so confused when he saw Delita kidnap Ophelia at the very beginning.
Uh-huh.
But when the pillars of that life came crashing down, I did not stand and watch them fall. I turned and walked away.
I mean, pretty bold. Kudos to Ramza there.
Yeah, and that's the first time he actually did something on his own, ever.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, not an easy thing to do there either. could have gone back. You know, like who cares if you beat up Argath? Like, you know.
Gafgarian. And yes, his first name is in fact Gaff.
Love it. Okay, hold on. We gotta help me figure out what the heck is happening here now.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so Ophelia is the princess?
Ovelia, yes.
Ovelia.
Yes.
Okay, and Ovelia was just kidnapped by Delita.
Right, if you remember from a few weeks ago when we first started this, Ovelia was the one praying at the very, very, very beginning.
Yeah.
And then when the rogues showed up at the front door of the cathedral, well, not cathedral, obviously not a cathedral, out front of the chapel, and everybody ran out to meet him. Yeah, we fought them right here where we're standing right now, but meanwhile, Delita was using them as a ruse to sneak in the back way, overpower Simon, and take Ovelia off on his magic chocobo.
Now, so our group was supposed to be basically just like a guard, right? You were like a
so
entourage.
Yeah, Ramza and Gafgarian were hired. Well, Ramza, Gafgarian, and the squire standing there, whose name is Rad. Yes, it's Rad. They were hired as mercenaries to pad out the numbers, and then Agrius, Alicia, and Lavian, Agrius, and then the two knights with her. They were. They're actually part of, their job is, as she said, in the Lion's Guard. She's there to protect the White Lion, which in this scenario means she's Ovelia's, Secret Service.
Right.
So much thunder.
Love the thunder.
The boy. And Gafgarian's gonna be like, yeah, whatever.
Yes. The manipulative and the subservient? Was that always the subtitle of
Yes.
that chapter?
Yes, it was.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's right. It's Lad in this version. It's only Rad in the original version. Curses.
Oh, man, that's dumb. Now he just sounds like a loser.
Allow.
Aw. That's nice of you.
These characters are much better than what we've been packing around for most of Chapter 1, so...
Wait, when they join, what happens to the old characters?
They still come along. That's another kind of loophole between video game and actual plot line. Like, all these characters apparently just kind of tagged along with Ramza until they were needed again a year later? Who knows? It really makes no sense.
Love to see it.
For folks watching the stream, you just got our first transition of our background here. We're now in Chapter 2, as DP called out, and now Ramza is wearing his Chapter 2 armor on the stream. Isn't it cool? It's so cool.
Looking good, looking fly.
Yeah. Surprise! That was not labeled as a battle square, but here we are in a battle.
Great.
We're going to take 2 healers in this. We are not going to need them. And this is a battle that you could pretty easily do just with Ramza if you wanted to. Now, NP, don't be snide. This will also get cross-posted to YouTube, where dozens of people will eventually see it, you flippin' jerk.
Eventually.
Eventually. I usually get it done by Monday. But since I've got the new Clem to play with this weekend, I don't know if that'll happen right away.
I meant eventually on when the dozens will
well, yeah, and it kind of goes for, forever. You know, and it's not like I take these down, so, you know, and we'll all be dead, and 18 people will watch this. It'll be perfect.
Now, what were you saying the other day? How many? It was some weirdly high number. The number of views on the channel
Oh,
overall.
on the con channel, it's over 500,000 now, but largely
Yeah,
that's
that's pretty good.
that's driven by the Final Fantasy VI Limit Break videos, which have gotten
Yeah.
just ungodly numbers of views, and also a
Yeah.
lot of the Chrono Trigger ending videos have gotten quite a
Oh,
few
right.
as well. And you know why that is? Because I did a better job of making them than most of you idiots out there. Suck it.
I mean, that is sort of our thing, right? We spend a little bit too much time and make it better, and then we get marginally more.
Oh,
views.
I'm really not feeling the positive vibes of that. Thank you. Hi, Vermilion Dervish. Hello. Pleasure to see you. CNP, another person. Suck it. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say suck it for the rest of the stream. New person here on the screen. We are in a different part of Dorter now. Obviously one of the nicer parts of Dorter. This is not like the shipping area.
Clearly, yeah.
And this guy wants some people dead. Who do you think he wants dead? That's a custom knight or thief sprite also for this
I
random
was gonna
character that
say,
we're going to
okay. He's
slaughter
got
here in a
more
minute.
of a scowl than
Yeah.
usual.
Ask away,
But-
Vermilion. We are idiots, but we will certainly try to answer. This knight shows up a lot in the future, and he is extremely hardcore.
You can tell. Look at that solid lean he's got going there.
Oh
Man,
yeah,
that swag
and
is
those
good.
giant arms, yeah, like even
Yeah.
larger than usual.
Dude is jacked.
That's Sir Gafgarian.
Oh, whoa,
Nice haircut, thiefy.
yeah, looking fly. Okay, wow. So
I have not
he
heard of
paid-
Hazelnut Bastille. What on earth is Hazelnut Bastille? Chatting friend.
I don't think I've heard of that either. Not that that should surprise anyone. But
Yeah, I wasn't going to ask you. You're the newbie.
Aha.
We don't ask you anything.
Aw.
You're just here to watch.
And color commentary. Come on, don't sell me short, man.
You're here primarily for grayscale commentary, I think.
Ouch, dog.
Boom.
Come on.
Burnt. You burnt.
Dang.
Okay, what are we up against here? Can't really see it very well from this one. Okay, we got a couple black mages. Yeah, a lot of ranged attackers, so there's no point in hanging out here too terribly much.
Yeah, we got the low ground once again here.
Yeah, DP has never had any sort of useful kind of, technology capability.
Sorry, NP.
Yeah, he's still complaining about your mic level.
Do I sound like I'm in a cave, or do
No,
I sound
you,
like
you
I'm
actually
quiet?
sound great to me right now, so it's probably my fault more than anything.
I was gonna say, my face is right by my microphone right now.
I'll tell you what, I'll crank all this up and turn the game sounds down just a smidge again. While you're doing that, you can see Gafgarian, break out the massive Dark Knight abilities. Which, again, you can get in this version of the game later on when you want to.
Sweet.
This is one of those battles that usually does not take very long because of how strong the guests are. And that's the case for a lot of Chapter 2.
Now, wait, Agrius is a guest, and Gafgarian is a guest.
That's correct.
Right, just those two, okay. The other people who are with Agrius are in our party, but they're not guests.
That's correct. They actually officially become part of our party immediately,
Right.
as did the Squire with Ramza. Yeah, no, can't say I've heard of that. I don't have a Switch yet, and I also don't really play many games on my desktop anymore, so I barely opened Steam in months. Well, there you go then, NP. It only took us 4 episodes to actually get the levels right. We are technical wizards.
Did you actually change the levels, or are you
Yeah,
just saying that?
I bumped up the levels on my side to make you a little bit louder, and also
Okay.
to try to balance out the game a little bit more.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't, like,
Yeah, no sarcasm.
gaslighting NP over here.
How many times are you going to change clothes today, child? You don't know? Okay. Oh, okay. You still got that on. Okay. I'm just getting a fashion show. What? Won't go lay down. She's telling me she's tired. Oh dear.
Could you turn Kai's levels up a little bit, Josh?
No, I can't, actually. She refuses to talk any louder, and now she's skating away again. Man, that monk just will not stay alive. Time for slaughter.
Aw.
Don't spoil it, NP. I genuinely don't know how to answer that. The question is, so far this game feels basically Final Fantasy of Thrones. How does this all lead to a winged chick in a red leather Dom outfit? Which might be a spoiler for DP. I'm not sure if he's seen the endgame of this at any point.
That was a spoiler. Yes.
It's not the best spoiler.
Spoiler is in heavy air quotes there.
Yeah, the game does take a pretty hard right turn into the supernatural around the end of this chapter. So it becomes as much a political sort of thriller as it does a magical sort of thriller, I guess.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, fine, you got me on that one, yes. I am the one that spoiled it, not NP. I could have kept my mouth shut. Anyway...
Good check there, NP. Way to keep them honest.
Yeah, thanks, bro. That's super useful, and it makes me really want to answer your question. Jerk off. No, there is some dissonance there. You're right. It does become considerably more clear soon. Like I said, towards the end of this chapter, you start to see a lot more of the magical part of it take over, and you see where it fits in with the political stuff going on here. But in the end, it really is kind of two sides of the same coin. The same people that are vying for the political ends are also thinking about the magical side of things. And it's another layer where there are some characters that know a lot about what's going on in reality underneath this, veneer of a politically oriented war, and there are a lot of characters that know jack. And the dissemination of that knowledge is a lot of what drives the exposition once you get towards the end of this chapter.
Ah, interesting.
And that actually is a really interesting question, especially when given at this point of the game, and I'm going to say that it was interesting enough that it is having me really, really badly mismanage this battle. Like, really badly. This is not a battle that I should be doing this poorly on, by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, what would the fun be, though, if we didn't, F up an easy battle here and there?
Oh, boy.
It just wouldn't be my kind of stream. Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, she's charmed. The thieves in this game have an ability called Steel Heart, and they can use it on enemies of the opposite gender to charm them.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it is, generally speaking, kind of annoying. The thieves in the first Miliuta battle at Thieves Fort also have that ability. You may not remember, but they did try to use it a couple times and missed. So this thief did not miss.
Huh.
Just like Charm in any other Final Fantasy, if somebody whacks her with a physical attack, she loses it. But... yeah, NP took that description of how charm works to its logical conclusion, and I'm going to refrain from repeating it here.
We have impressionable viewers.
Well, and children wandering around. Though, let's be honest, it's not like my child has not heard anything worse. From her mother!
Smooth. Good way to collect it there.
No, I'm being pretty legit there.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and I just saw Vermilion's newest comment. Yes, Argath is a complete a-hole in this game, but luckily we don't have to care anymore. Ha ha ha.
Wait, is Argath just actually dead now?
He's not dead, I don't think. I just think he's useless and doesn't crop up again because he really had no reason for being beyond.
Right. I mean, he really was just sort of a foil, and you can see how there's not as much place for him once the political universe begins to sort of open up before Ramza. So
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So monks do have the ability to learn an ability to revive other party members. Ramza doesn't know it yet, so
No.
I think at this point, I am going to call this battle a wipe, and let us call it a day. Because I don't really want to lose my monk, even though she's kind of useless at this point, because she's good for grinding JP into Ramza. I don't want to lose that other chemist either, because I don't have a whole lot of healers. I don't have anybody that can get him up unless Charm wears off that white mage, and the only way I can get it off instantly is to punch her. And if Ramza punches her, she will die.
Yeah.
Plus, if I let her go the way she's going, she's about to revive that other archer. This battle is just not worth it. I did not pay nearly enough attention to this, and I apologize for that, and I'm going to run through it so we don't have to look at it again next stream. So that being said...
once again a good moral, though, that again, even with a party where you have good characters and where you have some good guest characters against opponents that aren't bad, but aren't especially good either, you can still lose in this game if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
There's no phoning it in battle.
Yes.
Really,
well, I mean, there is. And this is one I really
are only the random encounters, though.
Yeah, this is one I really should have been able to sleepwalk my way through, and I just didn't. I just totally cocked it up. So, whatever.
It would have been different if they would have charmed one of your other characters.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I don't think they're. I don't think there's any real big exposition after this battle, other than pretty much like Agrius being like, "Oh, we gotta go," and Ramsey being like, "Okay." So you're not missing anything here. But if anything comes back up, I'll try to recap it in the next stream when we get started.
Sweet.
So yeah, if you two wonderful viewers are not yet following us, now's the chance to do it so you can see it show up on the stream with the Chocobo, because that just really cracks me up. Otherwise, we'll try to stream again next Friday when my daughter will be around again, because she has 2 consecutive Fridays off from school, because whoever plans that schedule is really hateful towards parents. Yeah, but we will do it again then, assuming that there are no further car accidents or anything else that distract you from coming, DP.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Hopefully we'll start a little earlier next week.
Excellent. I like that too. I'll talk to you later.
See ya.